All right. What I'm going to do for mine. So I'm going to start it off tried and true. Top 10. Number one, Dad. Stan Salty Sea Dogs. I love saying that. What can I say that hasn't already been said about him? He has 8,958 fantasy points. That is 958 more than the next guy down. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, mass off a little there, but yeah.
So where I disagree with both of y'all, that I don't think that I am the second, which I know is surprising.
Wow, so modest.
I'm so humble. So humble. Thank you. I mean,
you probably didn't even make the top 10.
The people speak for me, and you know what? I don't necessarily disagree or agree, but for my top 10s, I put Tony. He's been doing more consistent than I am. I've had a couple good weeks, and then I've had a couple low weeks. He's just consistently through the board. I do have myself right under him at third. But then going on to that, this is where my list really switches up from y'all. So I actually have Jared at fourth. The reason being is Jared's team, Christoph Porzingis is just going nuts.
Can't be trusted.
Oh. Well, I think both Kenan and I agree that as he said in a few previous podcast, that Christoph was hurt and he had some sort of like hip thing that he just never felt really healthy, and that's what contributed to him playing kind of subpar at Dallas thus far. Well, he's got an ankle injury. Everyone and their dog in the training office knows how to fix an ankle.
Hey, man, I played soccer with some injured ankles. Next thing I knew I popped the groin muscle, hip injury.
Are you David millionaire?
I was just about David now thinks he's a professional athlete in addition to the fifth best team.
Well, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Soccer is more taxing than basketball. I think we all can agree on that.
Yeah, but I know you when you were in high school. I knew you when you were in high school, David. I know what you probably did is you twisted it and then just sat on the couch for 3 weeks and you're like, why isn't it better? That's not what Christoph is going to be doing. All right. So I feel like Jared, I mean, I will point out that not only this is just a gut feeling of mine, but as the numbers go, he has 7,481 points, which is leaps and bounds.
Loaded.
Yeah, he's currently fourth in points for in our league. It's kind of an aberration that he's 2 and 4 right now. He should be a lot higher.
It's an aberration,
it's bloated, man.
But it also has to do with matchups. That's the reason that it goes. But true. I would just say that his team, his record shows that he has not reflected what his team is playing currently at the moment. And also the other night, D'Angelo Russell. Sorry, my dog is being.
Oh, was that your stomach?
That's my dog.
Was that your butt?
That was my butt. Sorry, I farted, guys. All right,
sharing it with the world.
We'll cut that out. No, D'Angelo Russell and who else was on his team that had a 50-point night the other night? D'Angelo Russell and Cat? I think it was Cat.
Mo Bamba. Oh, Mo Bamba. It was 6 blocks and 20 rebounds, and
that's what it was. It was
15
Mo Bamba
points or something,
which is ridiculous. Mo Bamba was off. He was off. I'll move on, but like it's just ridiculous that D'Angelo Russell, Mo Bamba, these two guys that the league cares that isn't that good. They're having 50-point nights out here. I think Jared's team is going to just go back up. And everyone says, as Canyon says, a lot of the time, regular season doesn't really matter. All that matters is playoffs. And I feel like I would hate to see Jared at this point in the playoffs. So that's why I put him just below me.
Me too, but for a different reason.
Next one down the line is Tyler. Tyler's Fanatical Figs. Love it. Tried and true name. Good job, Tyler. I put him. Jared's going to like it because now I put him below him, whereas Canyon had it the opposite.
Me too. I didn't even have him in my top 10.
Good. This is good for him. It lowers his ego down. So I put him in my top 5 just because he has got the numbers. He's got the record to show for it. He's had good success, consistent success. I just don't think that he'll be able to keep it up as much as the regular season goes. And I thought he got a little bit lucky with some of the numbers. But then going off, and this is where I really rustled with the 6th is Dustin. And I totally agree with what y'all are saying as far as Zion needing to come back. But I mean, one of the guys that was playing so good at the beginning of the year that contributed a lot to his
Miles
record
Bridges.
and Miles Bridges is still doing great. I mean, but Kevin
He slowed
Porter
down a
Jr.
little.
Kevin Porter Jr. is now not in the starting five. They're reducing his minutes, and John Wall is set to come back. So Kevin Porter Jr. is going to have way less minutes even.
John Wall's only coming back so they can trade him.
Stay tuned for a future episode where we discuss that.
So that's why I think
spoilers.
while he's kind of everything weighs on everything. I don't know what the word I'm trying to say.
Hinges on
everything hinges. Thank you. That's why you're my guy.
On Kevin Porter?
Everything hinges on Zion coming back for him to be a top 4 contender in my mind.
Kevin Porter, as soon as he moved to the bench, he's had 48 points and 38 fantasy points. It's his 2 best games. So
he's terrible.
Could be a good move.
Well, I mean, if he's getting the minutes, then maybe my point of view is not valid.
Wrong.
But I don't think he's getting the minutes. So the next one down is Canyon's perfect dimes. So Canyon,
that's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is perfect dimes. What does that mean? What does that even mean?
Like a dime is like an assist, and like
a dime piece. Like
it's because he has
also I'm objectifying my players because they're nice and sexy.
Yeah. Dame was in like a Vogue commercial.
Plus, it's also a play on my best player. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a terrible name. I agree. It's a terrible name. I couldn't.
2 Dames equal.
So new ranking. We're doing top 10 best names. Okay, Canyons is at the bottom. He's not even on the list.
If we're gonna keep this episode anywhere near 30 minutes, we got to get to voting pretty soon.
Okay. So I got Canyon, and then next one down is Clay. I feel like Canyon and Clay to me could have swapped. The only reason I put Canyon a little bit better is I think he does have more future value than Clay. And he's obviously got the minutes or the points even. Ken is 220 points better than Clay.
Off a fluke.
Yeah. Well, he did have I think that your first week.
In Clay's defense, and he'll get angry at me if I don't say this on the podcast. He does have an absurd points against. Like if you look at how many points have been scored against him this season, like you talk about the gap between Dad and the number 2 player in points for, like Clay has 8,300 points scored against him. The next highest is Trent at just under 7,600. So like Clay's team should be performing better this season than 1-5, and I expect that record will start to even out.
Yeah, he's right. He's right in the middle of our league in terms of points scored.
Sorry, I interrupted.
His record definitely doesn't. It shows him being over the bot. It doesn't reflect how good his team is. And we give Clay, if you're watching this, we give you a lot of crap, but your team actually does have some good talent.
Yeah, we're all just salty because you won last year. So
yeah,
we hate you.
Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't even remember you won. So
that's how forgettable you are to me. I don't even think about it.
I was really wondering. I was like, how do I view who won last year? Did I win? The one thing I know is Jared didn't win. So.
I just love that David goes immediately. Did I win? Did I just win? Because you know how when things happen so often that eventually it's just no big deal. That's where I'm at. Yeah. All right. Then my last 2 are Kara's Care Bears and Trent's Woeful.
Unbelievable. I'm not in this top 10 again. Y'all's scoring metrics are very flawed.
I actually didn't even look at. Oh, would you look at that? Actually. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, unbelievable. So I did wrestle with you a little bit, David.
Yeah, we did
between Trent and you. The only thing is, I actually think that Trent has more points than you, fantasy points this year. He's just the same as Clay, got in poor matchups, and I don't know. I just like his team a little bit better. He just has a good, solid team, and yeah, I think he's got a little bit more promise, at least for now. But
let's be honest, David didn't deserve to be anywhere near this list. He just changed the rules. So
yeah,
let's get to the voting time.
Let's get to voting.
Kick him off the end of the vote.